This is how I lost $250 a day trading Euro USD. This is a trade breakdown. I made a mistake. Let's go over to it. Before we talk about the mistake we made, let's talk about what happened, right? And why were we looking for a long here? Why were we looking for a near continuation? Because, as you guys know, time comes before price, and we're going to talk about it. So at first, let's get our high time for narrative, high time bias, right? Before we get to that, our high time and bias on the monthly, we were going from a monthly CRT to the upside, right? The reason we're not using the weekly because in this case, the weekly, is going against the monthly. The monthly time frame is the fourth week of the month. Basically, the fourth week should be a rally to the drawn liquidity in the monthly time frame, right? So we've gone from an ERL to IRL out again. First, we go to the high that creates this IRL, which is this monthly CRT high. On a daily, we go from a daily IRL to ERL, right? On the 4-hour time frame, we were going from a 4-hour bullish auto flow. There's no daily range. We're in a discounted area to buy this spot as well, but there was no daily range as well. This was a New York continuation, right? So London made a low of the day, so I was looking for a near to continue. So on the hourly time frame, when this candle formed right over here, this hourly 8 a.m. candle formed, it got disrespected by the 9 a.m. candle. So we were not looking for no hourly candles or looking for the 4-hour, right? Eventually, at the 4-hour time frame, there was at this specific time there was a SMT. So if we go back in time and just here, right over here, there was a SMT divergence with the correlated pair. Now it's false because the SMT divergence was did not work out. But before we do that, let me go and show you what I mean by this. Go to the hourly time frames. Go to the 15-minute. That is the low right over there. You can see market bridge out the low while this one didn't. This was 10:30. This was 10:30, right? So SMT divergence happened. This one swooped it out while this one did not. And we took a trade. I took a trade, right? I did not give it out to the public because I was not streaming, right? But I thought, most people may take a trade with me, right? But I forgot that there was a key point of the SMT divergence, which the most important aspect of a SMT divergence, it should be during a Pacific time. And you guys know from 1 to 2 a.m. or 2 to 3 a.m. or 3 to 4 a.m. are the highest probability times of a purge of liquidity, right? So what does a SMT does? It prevents purges happening, right? So that is still valid, right? So from 6 to 10:30 a.m. is a really valid time to look for a purge of liquidity. In this case, right when it hit 10:30 a.m., right, this right when this candle ends, it's gonna hit 10:30 a.m. candle, right? So if this SMT divergence is gonna be valid, it has to not first of all purge out the CRT, the range of that. First of all, it should not purge out the 10:15 a.m. 15-minute candle low, because if a SMT is valid there, if there's an SMT that's gonna happen, it should not go below that, right? Because that's gonna invalidate the time, right? Because time is more important than price. Because right when this 10:15 a.m. candle ends on the 15-minute time frame, it's gonna hit 10:30 a.m. candle, right? So that basically means the time has ran out of a purge of the liquidity, right? So a high probability time of purge of liquidity has run out. So that SMT divergence is invalidated, right? So market at 10:30 a.m. right over here, get up as SMT divergence. It closed above it, but guess what? Keep this in mind. This is a 10:30 a.m. candle. We should have a SMT beforehand, and the SMT high or low should not be souped depending on our bias. So if our bias is bullish, the CRT, so you can see the SMT low did not get souped. It just went up, right? The SMT low or high should not be souped, right? So if I'm bullish, the SMT low should not be souped. If I'm bearish, the SMT high should not be souped, because they'll make a new SMT. And anything after 10:30 a.m., it should not. Anything after 10:30 a.m. SMT are invalidated because they're not a Pacific time. And from 9 to 10:30 a.m. are a Pacific time of a purge, right? Thus, why we look for SMT, because SMT prevents this purge, right? I've already said that before. And you can see right over here, this is a 10:30 a.m. candle. We should only have an SMT during this candle, because right when this candle ends, you can hit the 10:30 a.m. candle, right? So right when that ends, can hit 10:30, and market close below this, the 15-minute low. that means that is no longer a valid SMT. And I did not keep this in mind. I've already talked about this SMT divergence about key time, which is, in our ETU free mastermind CRT bootcamp. I've talked about the high probabilities of high probabilities of SMT. And on this trade, I only lost 0.50%, right? I don't lose 1% because as you guys know, when there's an SMT divergence, we should be de-risking. So I saved myself 0.50% RR. We're still up, 13.5 RR in the past week or so. This trade is not a worry, but we made a mistake. So this mistake should not be happening again. This mistake should not be happening again ever, right? So I put it down as my rule to only look for SMT. So if the market closed below the 10, the market goes up, the time expect, right? Because guys, time and price are two different things, right? Time is more important than price. So in my rules, I wrote it down that there should be an SMT divergence from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Right? If the SMT happens around at beyond the 10:30 a.m. candle, basically right over here 10:30. If there's an SMT, if we're in the presence of SMT, well, the other pair soups it out. Well, this one does not. Where the one pair, correlated pair, soups it out, while the other pair does not. And we're the presence of SMT happening. We're present of a SMT confirmation happening. If that happens and it hits 10:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., right, and the market goes below the SMT low or SMT high, that could be invalidated, right? So right here, 10:30 a.m. candle, and we're present with SMT. It should not project the low or the high, depending on our bias. If our bearish, we should not, soup up the high, right, of the SMT, and just scroll down to give it the SCISD confirmation. Same thing to the bearish side, right? And that's that. That's what we lost. I've already talked about this before, but I have not, I have not encountered it yet. This is interesting. I found it today that from 6 a.m. to, because I trade New York session, right? I don't trade London session. So for London session, it would be 1 to 2 a.m., 2 to 3 a.m., and 3 to 4 a.m., right? For SMT divergence, right? Anything outside that time window should not be valid, right? So I trade New York. So from 6 to 10:30 a.m. is when I should be having SMT. So if I don't get SMT during the Pacific time, I will disregard the SMT because the most important aspect of SMT divergence is time, right? It's not the key levels, because SMT prevents key levels from getting tapped, right? So if it's preventing it, that's not the most important. The most important one is time, right? So that's why we lost. Why did we lose? Because the SMT divergence happened after 10:30 a.m. and that is invalid time. It's out of the kill zone, which is, I think, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. is a silver bullet kill zone. I'm not sure, but there are those specific time is where the market presses out a lot of liquidity, right? So we got entrapped, market pressed it out, and when I saw this entry happening, I did not like it at all. But I was like, this could be expansion, retracement, expansion, right? As well, it could have been a, the SMT could be a reversal, retracement, expansion. But guess what? The time of the SMT was not right. It should have been right here. So market should have SMT here. Market should have not projected the SMT low that eventually closed above and given the confirmation, right? Then I would have accepted that trade as a trade, but I'll still have de-risk because SMT, I don't want to trade SMT without a thing. But you can see our take profit offered us a 2 RR to the initial, and the final take profit was a 3.5 RR, right? And even when it hit my entry, usually when there's an impulsive entry, when the market just pipes down, that's like a bad sign, because market will usually attend to, do a little bit push up and go right back down, right? Which is fine. We made a mistake. We lost $250. It's not that much. We sell up like what, a lot. I don't care about being up or being low a lot, right? But it's just that lessons, right? Because in trading, when you lose, when you make a mistake, you can't apologize, right? You pay with price. You pay with we pay with a cost. So you pay with you losing your capital, and yeah, game teaches you game, right? In trading. So that's why you lost. You can see there's SMT divergence that happened on 3 a.m. candle right over here. 3 a.m. There's SMT divergence right over here. 2:45, 2 a.m. to the 3 a.m. candle. There's SMT divergence, right? While this one souped out, while this one didn't, right? You can see the 2 a.m. candle right over here. There was a SMT divergence with this correlated pair. And that's why we, you know, this is a Pacific time, 2 to 3 a.m., and 3 a.m. is a Pacific time, right? So 3 a.m. was the SMT divergence, and we had a confirmation at, let me see what time we had a confirmation for this SMT divergence. So we had a, yeah, so just bunch of bearish candles. So we had a confirmation at 3 a.m. So right when it's, because since we have a 15-minute CI, a 15-minute SMT, you go to 1 minute for a confirmation. Our 1 minute confirmation, right when it closes above this candle, we're going to buy. So just buy over here and just let it, run from here around, right? You can see our trade, that was a Pacific time. It worked out. The SMT divergence worked out because of the Pacific time. Well, this one happened after 10:30. So right when he's at 10:30 a.m. and we're in the presence of his SMT, you should not purchase the SMT low or high, depending on our bias, right? For bullish, as I've already said it before, for bullish, the SMT low should not be purged. If you're bearish, the SMT high should not be purged, right? And that's that. And market should give us a confirmation. And once we get the confirmation, which is model number 1, then we're fine. After that, we can enter the trade. But if the low gets purged or the high gets purged, that goes against our bias, we cannot take it because that's gonna be invalidated. And even after that, if the market gives us a SMT divergence, even after that, if the market gives us a SMT and it gives a confirmation, we should not take it because that's outside the time window. That's beyond the 10:30 a.m. And this rule is specifically till the 10:30 a.m. candle, because from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. usually a good time to trade, right? When there's an SMT that happens or those specific time for New York session specifically, or a good time, right? But if it happens outside 10:30 a.m. candle, 10:30 a.m., right when it hits 10:30 a.m., right if an SMT divergence happens right afterward, we cannot accept it because you guys know time is more than price, and you guys know there's SMT divergence every minute, every hour, right? So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. This is a lesson we learned. I only lost 0.50%, of my, entry. Usually I lose 1%. In this case, I only lost 0.50%, right? They didn't lose that much because we de-risked. We had the right risk management. As you guys know, for SMT divergence, you should de-risk by half because it's a concept which does not, present liquidity, which, lowers your probability. In my case, it lowers my probability of my setup working out. People say it should, increase your probabilities, but it just messes the whole market, where the market moving, because when the market purchases out liquidity, it brings in new liquidity. It takes out all liquidity, right? When this happens, as if the divergence happens, market does not purchase the old liquidity and makes new buyers in, which is not that great. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is my 0.50% loss trade breakdown. I journaled this. I put it down as a rule. So after 10:30 a.m., if there's an SMT divergence that happens, I will not be taking that trade. And if we're present of a SMT and it hits 10:30 a.m. candle and we don't have an entry, the SMT low or high should not be purged. If it gets purged, we're gonna invite the whole setup. We're not gonna look for no trades. But if the setup, if there is, and we could wait till like 11 a.m. to take a trade, because we're not confirmation. We have to wait for the CIG to form. Only if the high or low has not been purged of the SMT. Same thing with the purging the liquidity. If you purge a CRT high, CRT low, once we get that purge, then we could just chill till 12 p.m. Then look for execution, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I see you guys inside my Discord. Join our Discord. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.